That's not what we meant by the contradiction. What we meant was that on every once in a while you'll make a point, which we think is brilliant, by the way, which is that overall, when inflation or hyperinflation comes, that ultimately the banks will be killed and that people's loans will be wiped out. So, like, for instance, as far as the way I interpreted this is if you're making $1,000 a month and you have a $100,000 loan, it'll take 100 months to pay it off.
Yeah,
but if all of a sudden inflation hits everywhere.
But where's the contradiction? I'm still waiting. Where's the contradiction?
The contradiction, the way we interpret it is that if your loans will be wiped out, then maybe it is better, instead of to rent, than for everyone, even if you don't have a lot of money, to take huge 30-year loans, buy 3 different houses if you can get the credit for it, and then wait for this economic problem to occur.
Yeah, here's the point, is that what I'm saying is, yes, that very well may happen. And whether I advise that depends on how much you have to put down. If you have to put down 20, 25%, I would think that you'd be better off taking that down payment and buying something like gold. And if there is hyperinflation, you'll be better off with the gold than having your mortgage wiped out. But if you can do 3.5% down and get one of these, loans with 3.5% down, now you've got a much better dynamic. But also it depends on, how long you're likely to live in the same area, how stable your income is. I mean, there are other things. And of course, it's not 100% sure thing that we're going to get runaway inflation. Maybe the government does the right thing. Maybe they jack interest rates up instead and the economy crashes and that house goes down in value. So it's not a sure thing that we're going to have runaway inflation. So, you've got to be prepared for all possibilities. I think that the probability of high inflation is pretty good. And so in that respect, a good chunk of your mortgage could be inflated away. But there are other factors that would weigh on whether or not you should buy or own. But I am not 100% against buying the way I used to be prior to 2008. Nobody should buy it under any circumstances. You should sell your house and rent. That's what I was saying. I'm not saying that anymore. For some people, it makes sense to do that, to sell your house and rent, but not for everybody the way I thought it did back at that time. But, hey, thanks for your call. I'm glad you were able to meet my dad and that you've got